Queenslanders, a big smile on the face. I know you're at Burleigh Heads. How are people spending their first real day of freedom?
Well, look, Tim, today is a pretty exciting day. We've got the first stage of the government's eased restrictions rolled out. It means that a lot of Queenslanders are going to be having their real taste of freedom after months being cooped up at home. Now, we've actually just stumbled on a personal training session here at Burleigh Heads. It's in full swing. I think I'll have a chat to one of them. Lockie, can I just grab you for a quick chat? I'll just get you to stand here for me. I mean, this is a pretty exciting day. It means that you guys are finally able to get out and enjoy the fresh air. What kind of impact do you think that this is going to have on people's mental health?
Look, I think it's going to be significantly good for everyone. Training is everything to a lot of us, so being able to get outside and do what we love is really important.
And what about the sense of community as well? One of the best parts of exercising is doing it in groups. How is that going to start feeling for you guys?
Yeah, well, we've had a group out here this morning. We were able to do a higher intensity workout. It's obviously a lot more fun with all of us as a group as well. So getting together as a gang and getting a workout in has been good, yeah.
And how have you guys been managing not being able to have this outlet?
So I have an online team, and all these guys we're all from Fitness First as well. So we've been out there training, and for me particularly, I've been out just using bands and training from home and guiding my team as well. So yeah, we've been able to get through it through the technology these days, which is great.
Well, I'm very happy for you. I'll let you get back to it. Thanks for the chat. And it's not just outdoor personal training sessions, it's all kind of things, Tim. Today we're going to see cafes, bars, restaurants able to seat 10 patrons. They're able to dine in for the first time in months. We've got softer restrictions for beauty services such as nail salons. We've got 10 people allowed at weddings, for funerals, 20 indoors and 30 outdoors. Also, the return of day trips for the first time in months. People will be able to travel up to 150 kilometres from their homes. For many living in the southeast, this means travelling between the Gold Coast and Brisbane for recreational reasons. So, of course, Queensland Police are going to be on high alert today with an influx of visitors expected from other areas. Tim?
Thank you, Julia. Good to see people keeping the body a temple together once again. New South Wales residents have enjoyed their first night out to, a lot of very happy and smiling faces. We are joined now by Isabella Limbruggen at Bondi. Isabella, Sydney-siders making the most of the changes.
Yes, they certainly are, Tim. We had that first day of freedom yesterday and we saw restaurants and cafes across the city bustling with people. Today, people are getting ready to enjoy their first weekend of freedom. As you mentioned, I'm here at Bondi Beach this morning. Driving in at 6 a.m, there were cafes that were already filled with their 10 patron limit. People lining outside the door to get their coffees along the beach here this morning as well. We've seen exercise groups reuniting. They can now have 10 people allowed to exercise outdoors together, and we've seen running groups and cycling groups finally getting back together after a fair amount of time away. We've also had people personal training along the beach here this morning. It's great news for residents, but with these new freedoms has come a bit of a warning from the New South Wales Premier. We heard from her yesterday and she said other countries, when they've started to ease restrictions, that's when they've seen their caseload and the number of cases they've seen of coronavirus start to increase. She says she doesn't want to see that here in New South Wales. Is hoping everyone takes caution this weekend, takes personal responsibility, still maintaining social distancing as we enjoy our new freedoms here in New South Wales.
Thank you, Isabella. Northern Territory residents will enjoy the nation's most relaxed conditions after many restrictions were lifted. Look, I'm very envious of this man. Matt Cunningham. Buddy, what's life like in the top end? 34 degrees and you do whatever you want, really.
Life's pretty good in the top end at this time of year, any year, Tim, but I tell you, this year we're feeling particularly special up here. It is almost life as normal. I mean, I was at the pub yesterday and there were no limits on people at the pub. It was a real celebratory atmosphere across pubs and restaurants in Darwin yesterday and last night, and this morning I'm out here at the Pratt markets, of course, these iconic markets. They're normally a massive tourist attraction, but at the moment, obviously, it's just for the locals. But we're still more than an hour before the official opening time here at the Pratt markets, but there are plenty of people out and about just sort of lining up to get a coffee or looking to get a Luxor here this morning. As for those restrictions, they are the most relaxed As I was saying, in pubs, cafes and restaurants, they can open, they can have as many people as they want inside, so long as they stick to social distancing requirements. There's no restrictions or much less onerous restrictions on outdoor gathering. Groups of up to 500 are allowed to gather here in the Northern Territory. The parks have been open for the past couple of weeks now. It's almost 6 weeks since there has been a confirmed case of coronavirus here in the Northern Territory. So everyone really is out and about and enjoying life. They were enjoying a few beers last night, and they'll be enjoying getting down here today to the markets or getting to a cafe or a restaurant, having a coffee with friends, and really just enjoying the fact that we live in the best part of the country.
It certainly is at the moment. One of my favourite spots, Matt, and I have to ask you about this because I saw your story yesterday, is favourite spots anywhere in the country is the Sailing Club in Darwin. Now, any early reports on what happened last night? It virtually would have sailed off itself.
Look, mate, I can give you a first-hand report, actually, because I was down there at the Sailing Club last night enjoying what must be possibly the best sunset in the country. It's just amazing watching the sun go down there at any time, and it was really busy down there. In fact, they were booked out last night. You had to book a table. There were 260 people they had booked in there, and people were just, people were well behaved. People are doing the right thing generally. They were just sitting around having a quiet beer and watching the sun go down, as they normally might. It was just a beautiful night, and I think people were feeling lucky that we live in this part of the world and we're not being subjected to some of those restrictions that we're seeing in the other states and other parts of the country where people have basically been locked in their homes for weeks, if not months.
Oh, it is God's country. Nothing like fishing along the Corroboree Lagoon.